Hello? There, oh yeah. You're my truck, 1, 2 feet. You're my truck, 1, 2 feet.
My God, to supply my needs according to His riches and glory. Don't be surprised what you see. It's just the favor of God on me. When you see me down at the mall, praise Him. When you see me down at the ballpark, praise Him. When you see me out with my kids, praise Him. Out with my wife at the new crib, praise Him. What you think about and what you see is what you be and what you believe in. I know that it's not all me, that God in me is why I'm achieving. Everything I got came from Him. Everything I need comes from Him. All I gotta do is just trust Him, ask and believe Him, trust and receive Him. All you gotta do is take hold and don't let go. He will show up in everything you do. Everything will prosper for you. Oh my God will supply my needs according to His riches and glory. My God will supply my needs according to His riches and glory. Sing it with me. My God will supply my needs according to His riches and glory. Glory. Don't be surprised what you see. It's just the favor of God on me. When you see me down at the mall, praise Him. When you see me down at the ballpark, praise Him. When you see me out with my kids, praise Him. Out with my wife at the new crib, praise Him. Nothing else matters when it comes to serving God Almighty. Nothing else matters when you serve the King of Kings. He's the only one who has set me free. He's the only one who has made me free. Lord, you're the one. Lord, you complete me. The only one, the one that has saved me. You can see this thing in me. It's called that belief in me. Some call it that faith you see. I'm calling that G-O-D. Down for the cause to the end. You will stay closer than your very best friend. Tell me about it. Down for the cause to the end. You will stay closer than your very best friend. Sing it with me now. My God to supply my needs according to His riches and glory. Glory. Don't be surprised what you see. It's just the favor of God on me. When you see me down at the mall, praise Him. When you see me down at the ballpark, praise Him. When you see me out with my kids, praise Him. Out with my wife at the new crib, praise Him. My God to supply my needs according to His riches and glory. Glory. Don't be surprised what you see. It's just the favor of God on me. When you see me down at the mall, praise Him. When you see me down at the ballpark, praise Him. When you see me out with my kids, praise Him. Out with my wife at the new crib, praise Him.
V-O-R, I got bread for the day, I ain't worried about tomorrow. Old money, you ain't never heard of my father. Always had favor when I didn't have a dollar. Come see how I'm living on what little longer, and you'll see John go chill in this multi-level condo. Always giving with the rest in savings, God's favor making me feel like I'm God's favorite. Fatherless for lots of years, of God adopted a kid out of Satan's foster care. Now I'm living like a boss for real. The life I live, Damon Wayans with my wife and kids. It's my inheritance, ain't based on merit. You wanna see favor? Well, take a good look at your boy. This what it look like.
According to His riches and glory. What you see is just the favor of God on me. When you see me down at the mall, praise Him. When you see me down at the ballpark, praise Him. When you see me out with my kids, praise Him. Out with my wife at the new crib, praise Him. My God to supply my needs according to His riches and glory. What you see is just the favor of God on me. When you see me down at the mall, praise Him. When you see me down at the ballpark, praise Him. When you see me out with my kids, praise Him. Out with my wife at the new crib, praise Him. Praise Him. Just 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 praise Him. same old wish, gonna make it this time. Christ saved me when I lived a lie. New man lives, old man must die. Got 3 kids, all of them straight fine. White 5'2", light skin, she mine. There's a hunger inside of me. There's a thirst inside of me. Only hoping one day to be on my knees right in front of you. Tell me what I gotta do. Tell me what I need to do. Lord, I can't live without you. I lift my eyes to the hills, to the heavens. Where does my help come from? It comes from the Lord. It comes from the Lord. Do you believe? If you need a word, call me. Same phone number, speed dial, press 3. God moves everything around me. See, fix my life, give it back to me. I go to him when I'm in need. I go to him when I'm incomplete. Only one thing that I want to achieve, and that's to live a life where he's pleased. Tell about it. There's a hunger inside of me. There's a thirst inside of me. Only hoping one day to be on my knees right in front of you. Tell me what I gotta do. Tell me what I need to do. Lord, I can't live without you. I lift my eyes to the hills, to the heavens. Where does my help come from? It comes from the Lord. It comes from the Lord. I lift my eyes to the hills, to the heavens. Where does my help come from? It comes from the Lord. It comes from the Lord. It comes from the Lord. There's a hunger inside of me. There's a thirst inside of me. Only hoping one day to be on my knees right in front of you. Tell me what I gotta do. Tell me what I need to do. Lord, I can't live without you. Lord, I can't live without you. Live without you. I lift my eyes to the hills, to the heavens. Where does my help come from? It comes from the Lord. It comes from the Lord.
Yeah, well, amen, and amen. So all of that. What's going on, blessed people tonight? All right. I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. I got to make sure my screen is on, audio is on, everything's looking good. And if not, somebody's going to run upstairs. I'm going to get a text message saying that I need to chase them. So, but I hope y'all had a blessed day. And I'm looking forward to seeing what God has for us tonight. Lord, I just thank you. I give you praise. I glorify your name. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so we've been talking about pursuing your calling. And really, it's as we've defined, your calling is a combination of 3 things. It's your passion. Hold on one second. It's your purpose, passion, and your principles all aligned. And we talked about how by pursuing your passions, you're going to define what your calling is. The thing you do is your purpose, and your principles come along. That's how we defined it. Now, I'm not going to go through everything we taught because I really want to get to the slide that we've been working on. So I'm going to switch straight to that slide. I'm probably going to talk about that slide a whole lot tonight. And the big thing is because I want you to be able to walk away from this going, I know what my calling is. I know what I'm called to do, and I'm going to live on purpose now. So my purpose is defined by my calling, and that's where I'm headed, that's where I'm reaching, that's where I'm going. These are the things that I'm passionate about, and these are the principles that I live by, okay? And so I'm going to just focus on that slide mostly all night tonight. So here we go. Here we go. And here we go. All right, so if you didn't get this, I will have the link available after tonight's teaching, so you'll be able to download it, because last week we had the 3 sections, and tonight I added behavior. Now these are questions you ask yourself in trying to figure out, okay, who am I called to? Because you're always called to a people. Okay, so I'm gonna go through everything we went through last week as far as this document goes, but then I'm gonna add the behavioral part, okay? And this is how they act, but this is how you find them. Okay, so we talked about geographically where these people are, and I used the example. I don't want to be in the cold. I just don't want to be in the cold. When me and Brandy were looking at launching the church, we said, okay, so if we're gonna at that time we were looking at candidating or taking over another church, and we said, okay, so with that in mind, where would we want to go? And I remember saying no place cold. So we drew a line across the country and said, all right, so we're not going any place north, because that's just not me. I'm called to the southern area. So you got to know geographically where you're called to. And I know people say, well, I can do what I feel I do anywhere. That's true. But do you feel called to a different country, as we're getting to the next one, a population or a climate? Because you can't go, well, I feel called to people in Ethiopia, and you're going to look for them here. I mean, you're called to Ethiopia. And so you just need to know geographically. And if it's just the United States, that's fine too. Demographically, now these are very important because age, gender, nationality, ethnicity, occupation, income, and family size all make a huge difference in who you feel I'm called to. Do you feel like they're a particular age group, a particular gender? Some people are just called to women. Hey, I want to help women. I want to help men. Do you have one? Or it could be both. Is there a nationality or ethnicity that's involved in it? And so just are you called to the Spanish culture, or are you called to Spanish people? Or it could be African culture, African people, American culture, American people, whatever the case may be. Do you have a demographic group that you feel called to? A particular family size. Some people say, well, young couples with children. That's a particular family size. Income level. And then we talk about the psychographic pieces of who you may be called to. And psychographic is their lifestyle, their personalities, their values, and their interests. If you feel called to a particular group, what is their lifestyle? What is their personality? What are their values? And which is what's important to them, and then their interests. Okay. So tonight, let's jump into behavioral. Now, this is the one I talk about because this is how you find them. And this is the thing that I was like, okay, once you got the other stuff, you nail this down, you know exactly who I'm called to, and I know where to find these people are, because your ultimate goal is to serve them. So you go, okay, so the first thing you got to ask yourself is, where do these people hang out? Where do they go? What is their community? What is their surroundings? Do they hang out on Facebook? Do they hang out online? Do they hang out at meet and greets? Do they hang out in restaurants? Where, if I'm called to a particular group, where do they generally hang out? The next one is, what are they wanting? What are they really wanting from you? What are they asking for? If you could sit down and talk to the ideal person, what are they asking? What are they wanting? You can say, well, they just want healing. Well, yeah, but really beyond being just healed, because that could be mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, that could be in many areas. What is it that they want? That if you gave it to them, they would go, thank you. I've been looking for this all my life. You become the answer to someone who has been searching for you their whole life. What are they wanting? What is their status, their income status, which is a little different than, in the demographic, a little bit different. But what is their status, their social status? Are they low income, mid income, high income? What status? And it's okay. Everybody, people say all the time, well, shouldn't you be going after the least of these? Well, if you go to the least of 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 those, you can go down that road and go, well, what level of least do you feel called to? Well, you can have a low income, it doesn't matter, or a particular social status that I have a hunger to change that area. I have a desire to make a difference in that area. What area is that? Then the last one is, and this one here is probably the most important one out of the whole list. This one here, if I can sum up everything that I've been talking about, and if I could put it all together and say all of the other ones are perfect, but this one here you have to know right off the bat. You got to know what's their hunger level. Are you looking for people who are ready to change right now? Or are you willing to walk with them down the road in the ups and downs until they're ready to change and then change? Or are you looking for people who are at the edge of ready to change and change, or just deciding what level of hunger do they have to have? Me, I don't, for me, I just don't do well with people who are not ready to make an immediate decision. If they're complaining to me, they better be ready to go, and I'm ready to make the changes necessary to fix this. Otherwise, that's not the group. I'm just not called to the group where, I don't know, and I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. That's not me. And that's Brandy. That's why she's the professional. Brandy's called to that group. I'm just not called to that group. And so, which is fine. I know who I'm called to, and I know the hunger level that I desire from that individual. I want them, as Les Brown say, hungry. I want them so hungry that they go, you know what? Whatever you say, that's the person I really want. But that's me. That's who I'm called to. What hunger level do they have to be for you to feel called to them? What's that hunger level? You need to know what that level is. You need to understand this is where they are. All right. So if you add the last piece, behavioral, to the rest of it, you should be able now, not right now because you got to do the other piece, but after this, you should be able now to define exactly the people that you are called to and be able to define, how do I find those people? How do I find them? And then now we're going to move to, which is an even, I say even more exciting part, but it's just as exciting, is moving to, okay, now let's target in so I can make this my life. And let me switch off, all right, because I really want to share this. There we go. How can I make this my life? The goal is to be living your life by your calling, by what you feel called to do. The goal is to live your entire life doing what you feel blessed to do. What it's in my DNA. And see, many people never make it to that. When you think about, well, what is it that's giving you, me talking to me, the leaning to have this teaching? Because so many people are not living their passionate life. That's a good term. They're not living their passionate life. They're living their what's now life, but not their passionate life. And see, when you start to when you start moving toward living your passionate life, I'm living by the things I'm passionate about, the things I love to do. That is the most important thing, especially now everybody's going to go back into the workforce. Everybody's going to go back into the workforce and things are going to begin to change. And I want you to be able to look into this and go, you know what? No, I want to begin to live the passionate life I have and I feel I'm called to. And I already know what I'm called to. I've got it down packed to even knowing where the people are at. It's not just need to know, how do I, is it a ministry that you're wanting to, okay, well let's section this out. So are you wanting to be a part of a ministry that does it, which is fine, that makes everything else you do just in support of that? Do I want to start that ministry? Maybe it's something that's out there, not out there, whatever, but you have a hunger to go start something or support something. You want to go work in an area, you want to start an area, or support an area. Which one do you feel called to do? Man, Out of those three. So I'm called to go join a ministry that's already doing it. And, you know, everything else I'm doing is great, but I feel called to that. Or, you know what? I need to start this thing myself. This is something I need to do, and I need to start, and I need to do whatever that case may be. Or the last one, this is a ministry I'm just here to support. That I love what they do, and I'm just going to be a financial supporter of that thing that you feel called, that's in your calling. Now think about that. So Tommy, I could be fulfilling my calling by being somebody that supports the things that I'm passionate about. Yes! Yes! Just support somebody that's passionate about, you're fulfilling your calling. Or I need to go start this thing. It's not out there yet. I need to go start this thing. That's your calling. Or I'm just going to go partner with somebody else that's doing the things that I am passionate about. Yes. You know, every week I'm so grateful, thankful and grateful of the members of Deep Waters Community Church that continue to support our ministry so we keep doing what we're doing here. But when I think about that, I go, man, this message is going out because they're supporting the church so that we can do this. Calling. It's part of the calling. Part of the calling. Part of the calling. Amen. What time is it? Oh, it's only 7:14. Lord, have mercy. We flew through that. But you know, even when I was preparing for tonight, and I kept going, I don't have a whole lot because one, I don't know how many of you did the actual homework. Number two, if you did the homework, y'all are still processing what's going on, and you need to answer the questions and sit down and answer all the questions so that you can do it. And then the third thing was, this is not something you can blow past. Not adding this piece. You can't blow past it. And so ending early tonight is perfectly fine with me. I just want to make sure that you guys have what you need so that you can begin moving forward in your calling. Now, here's what we're going to do next week. Next time we meet, I'm going to give you a list of ways we're going to focus on how you can begin to develop what your calling is on your own, straight where you're at right now. It's going to be a list of things you begin to do. Yes, if you want to join the ministry. Yes, if you want to just support it. And yes, if you need to start it. I want to talk to you about beginning to operate right now. If say, you know, well, I can support it a little bit. I don't know if I can start it. And I'm going to give you some ways so you can start operating right now. So we can begin to think, how can we just start operating right now and feel the warmth of doing that? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. So 7:16. I know it is early. I know it's early. I know it's early. I know it's early, but I don't have anything else because that was in itself what it needed to be. And some of y'all didn't do your homework. That's probably why. Some of y'all probably didn't do your homework. So there's still some questions out there. If you have any questions where you just are processing something, send me a text or an email or a message on Facebook and say, hey, I just got some questions about what you're talking about, and I'll be able to answer your questions like that. Other than that, y'all have a blessed week. The weather has been phenomenal. Get out, enjoy yourselves just as much as we are. I've just redesigned the backyard so we can all go outside and sit outside and stuff. So do something like that. Just enjoy where you're at and be blessed. All right. I will see y'all on Sunday. It's Mother's Day for an exciting Mother's Day sermon that I have on Proverbs 31. So I'll see you guys on on Sunday, on Sunday, 10 o'clock, Deep Waters Community Church. You'll see us on Facebook and on YouTube and on our webpage. Other than that, I think that is it. Y'all be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.